This simple trick got me 5 years in federal prison. Here's exactly how. I'm gonna be showing you several different recipes for some of the best smoke devices there are, ranging from easiest to hardest and best to worst. At the end of the video, I'll be showing you how to make the US military's secret recipe. But obviously everyone doesn't have access to a bunch of fancy chemicals. So all you need for this first recipe is just a bunch of ping pong balls. Now to truly see how effective these smoke recipes are, we're gonna play a little game. Essentially, I'm gonna have to run across this field while my brother has an airsoft and we'll count how many times he can hit me. Whatever one conceals me the best is gonna be declared the winner for the best smoke recipe. In reality, you're gonna need about 4. Now you only need to do a couple things to the ping pong balls to get them completely ready. Obviously, the smaller you cut them, the better. So stab a hole and then you can use a pair of scissors to cut them out. The next thing that we're gonna need is some tin foil. Take a decent sized piece of tin foil and lay all of your ping pong balls out. Now you're just gonna roll it up, making sure to leave the bottom flat, just like this. Now this entire idea started years ago because I always wanted something to hide behind when I was playing airsoft, but all the recipes online were kind of confusing, or some of them were really hard, some of them were really complicated. So that's why I made this video. I have all of them together. If you wanna make something easy, you can. If you wanna make the best stuff there is, you can do that as well. Once you're ready to light it, it's actually extremely simple. All you have to do is grab a lighter and apply heat right on the bottom. That's where all of your stuff is. Can take a minute to work sometimes. There we go. Look at that. It works pretty well, but there's a couple problems with it, of course. Now, to rate this, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 on how easy it is to make because it is by far the easiest recipe. It only requires tin foil and then ping pong balls. But it's severely lacking in the other categories. It's not scalable at all, and it doesn't produce that much smoke. So its overall rating, I'll give it a 15 out of 30. All right, let's see how well this first smoke device works. We got my dad with the airsoft, and I'm gonna run across this field. We'll see how well it can conceal me. All right, so I'm running that way. I highly doubt this first one's gonna conceal me very much, but we'll try it anyways. I'm so cooked. This isn't gonna work at all. All right, so he managed to hit me 2 times, once in my shoulder and once in my leg. How hard was that to see me?
Very easy.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't think that one was gonna work very well, but let's go try the second one. Now this ping pong ball method has quite a few problems, and the first and biggest one is that you can't actually get these anymore, because to make this work, you have to get ping pong balls that were made like a long time ago. They changed out the chemicals in them and it no longer works like this. Now this next recipe is actually extremely good, and I found it off of Ordnance Lab. These are the things that you're gonna need to prepare for it. Some crayons, sugar, maple syrup, baking soda, and an oxidizer. Now these two are interchangeable. When we get to the more advanced recipes, we'll switch on, but for now we're gonna be using potassium nitrate. You can find this at Stump Remover at Lowe's. But if you're not able to buy any, I already have a video on how to turn sticks into potassium nitrate, so go watch that after you finish this video. Our first step is to combine 4 crayons with 60 grams of sugar. Now we're gonna burn it together on medium heat until it's all melted. Make sure to mix this stuff together so it doesn't burn up. Now this is essentially done, so let's go try it out. Now you might be wondering why I had the baking soda and the maple syrup, and this is just optional. You can add it in if you want to slow down the reaction. And as you can see, this is actually an extremely small amount of it, but it produces quite a lot of smoke. Now this step is optional for this recipe, but required for the next one. Essentially, we're gonna be making a device to contain our smoke in. You're gonna wanna make sure to wash this stuff out thoroughly though. You don't want any of that chicken soup in there. Now we're gonna need to get rid of the moisture, so I like to put mine on the stove right here and boil off all the water inside. Now here I'm gonna be repurposing the lid from a mason jar, but you could just use the original lid that came with the can. Essentially how this works, that's it, that's how it works. You just put it together like that. Well, I accidentally heated it up too much, so there it goes. I'm gonna have to remake this. I hope this stops soon. I'm in my backyard, my neighbors are gonna get mad. As you can clearly see, I messed that up, so let's go remake it. All right, now let's go test it out. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, the cap flew off. That's what happens when your lid flies off, guys. Boom. This works extremely well. Look at that. So as you can see, our lid flew off, and that's extremely bad because that means it's a complete burn. When you see flame, that means there's less smoke. The average range for this smoke device is about 1 minute long, but that one only lasted like 20 seconds because it was a complete burn. So make sure your lid is completely secure.
All right, second smoke screen DIY attempt. I'm gonna see how many times I can hit landing.
Hey, future me here. I'm broke. I just made my channel memberships only 99 cents. Why does this matter? Well, let's say I could get 100 people to sign up, but that 99 cents per person adds up. I've been working 3 jobs counting YouTube for the past 2 years to pay for my videos. That 99 cents across all of you guys could allow me to fully quit one of my jobs so I can make more YouTube videos. So if you enjoy my content, I would ask you guys to consider it, but moving on.
Okay. Yeah, that was actually harder to see you.
Really?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Now this next recipe is so cool. It's the best recipe that I know and I'm really excited to show it to you. Unfortunately, you are gonna need to buy some chemicals unlike everything else that can be made at home. But it's definitely worth it because this time you can actually color the smoke. I'm gonna be showing you how to make red and blue smoke. Basically, this is what you're gonna need. Our first ingredient is lactose. We're gonna be replacing the sugar for this because this doesn't burn black and it burns slower. But the main reason we're using it is because it burns at a much lower temperature. When sugar burns, it burns way too hot and vaporizes the dye. The next thing we need is potassium chlorate. And this is just like potassium nitrate, except it has 10% less oxygen in it. You might still be able to use potassium nitrate and see success though. As you saw with that last one, sometimes the reaction can get out of hand. So to control it, we're gonna be using magnesium carbonate. This essentially just works like the baking soda. It slows down the reaction. You might be able to replace it with baking soda. Adding color makes this stuff so much cooler, so we have red and blue smoke dye. Now you are gonna have to buy that smoke dye and maybe some of the other chemicals. And unfortunately, I can't tell you that website because I don't want anyone to get hurt. But if you paid close enough attention, I already accidentally shown it in a bit of the clips prior. As a final recommendation, you can grab yourself a large glass dark bowl. These dyes stain stuff extremely easily, but it has a hard time staining glass, and as a further precaution, if it's a dark color, it'd be much harder for it to show. This is how this smoke device works. Essentially, you have a fuel, an oxidizer, and then the dye. And to make sure things don't get out of control, you add a stabilizing ingredient. For our dye, we're gonna be adding 50 grams of red smoke dye. For our oxidizer, we're adding 30 grams of potassium nitrate. Now we need our fuel, so we're adding 20 grams of lactose. Lastly, we need something to calm down the reaction, so we're adding 10 grams of magnesium carbonate. Now that we finished it, let's go ahead and try it out. Now you might notice that this is not producing red smoke, and that's because it's outside in open air. If we contain it like in that contraption that we built, it should work. Now the last time that I made this device lasted for 4 minutes, which is insane. So let's see if it can do that again. There we go. Obviously, it's not gonna look great now, but the longer that this goes, the faster it'll build up pace, and soon it'll be pluming out tons of smoke. Wow, look at that. Thick red smoke. Let's go ahead and set this on the ground. It's getting a little hot. If you want, you can take out some of the magnesium carbonate that's inside of here and substitute it for something else, or just remove it entirely to make it go by quicker. But as you can see, with it, it lasts an extremely long time. That's a really good smoke screen. Obviously right here, the wind's extremely fast, so it's picking it up and taking it away. But with much less wind, this would perform way better. Ow, ow, that's hot. Yeah, that instantly burnt my finger. Ouch. It's gray now. 2 minutes and 54 seconds, and it's done. That's incredibly impressive. Now the results were quite impressive. Obviously I had extremely fast winds, but it still did incredibly well. This one's gonna get a 4 out of 10 on how easy it is to make because you might need to buy some stuff. On the other two categories, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10 because it is the best thing that I've figured out how to make so far. So for the total score, this one's getting a 24. Instead of the red stuff, let's go ahead and try blue smoke dye because I think it's gonna work a lot better. It's black. That means I made something wrong. It's actually good that that happened. What that means is that it was burning too hot. So we need to add more magnesium carbonate to cool the reaction down. All right, just like the last one, it's gonna start slow, but as it builds up speed, it'll go really quick. Beautiful. I wonder if I drill a hole through the middle of it, it can react much quicker because it can react all of it at the same time.
We're testing out the final recipe. Let's see how it does. Let's just say I've been looking forward to this one all week. I'd say just go. Did you get hit?
The results were actually really good. I didn't get hit a single time. Now you might have noticed there's one huge flaw with this design, and that's you can't really throw it. You kind of have to place it and then light it. And you also might have noticed this is my first YouTube collab ever. I'm collaborating with the Gripson because he's posting an awesome video where he's gonna make a smoke device launcher. So make sure you guys watch that, and huge shout out to the Gripson for helping me out with this project.